Hey, how's it going? Welcome to the channel. My name is Mike, and in this video, I'm going to walk you through a detailed tutorial of how my wife and I general contracted this owner-built pool here in Arizona. There's a lot of content, hopefully a lot of helpful hints. Go ahead and stay tuned, and I hope you enjoy. Thanks for watching. Okay, at this point, I am up on our deck. I'll show you, which is on the back of the property. We have a really nice view of the Superstition Mountains. And there are, I think it's 100,000 acres or so of open land out there that we can ride our horses on, which is really nice. On the other side of the deck here is the property. We're on 2.5 acres. I built all that fence area for our horse arena. Just show you this really quick. When our daughters were really big into barrel racing, I wanted to do this properly. So this is regulation size, 250 by 140 feet. We've got LED, nice bright LED lights out there to be able to light up the arena. There's the horse barn. And here is basically the site for the build for the pool. So you can see when you come outside, down below there's these rock pavers. We've got a bunch of turf out there as well. Artificial turf's a lot easier here in Arizona. As you can see, in preparation for the build, we've got all of the equipment was delivered. That's going to be really important before plumbing shows up. And again, the list of your subs is going to be pretty important. Just to be safe, I also installed that temporary kind of a snow fence out there. It's kind of pulled back right now so that tomorrow the excavation trucks can get in there. And here is the layout of the pool. And as you can see, JRD Measurements did the layout. They did a really nice job. It's basically off the plans. They put pins at known locations on the property, starting with this corner and that corner, and then you can't really see in the ground. There are little pins basically, which are just nails with little yellow or pink flags there. You can see those, and they make the measurements off of there. So that is basically laid out excuse me, in preparation for the dig. And again, tomorrow will be the dig day. Hopefully the excavation happens in 1 day, if not maybe 2 days. Today is Tuesday, so we're hoping Wednesday, Thursday we get excavation done, and then plumbing will be either Thursday or Friday. That should be about a day's work, and then next week we'll resume with the subs. But just wanted to show you the layout before the excavation crew gets here in the morning, and then when they do, I'll show you that and show you basically how they go ahead and dig out the pool. Okay, it is the next morning. It's July 10th, 2024, by the way. One thing to consider if you're having an owner-built pool done is gate access for their trucks. So as you can see, we've got, I think it's a 16 or an 18-foot wide gate there. Plenty of access. This again is the site. One thing I didn't mention yesterday also, in terms of the excavation, they charge about $600 to $800 to cart off the dirt. If you have, some land and you've got space, it's a good idea to have them leave the dirt on your land. I did that, and I was able to negotiate where I don't have to pay that $600 to $800. So what we're gonna do, that's part of the reason I've got our round pen apart. That's kind of gotten low. It's when we get rain that gets full of water, it becomes a mess. So I'm gonna have them dump a bunch of dirt in there, and then we have some low spots in the arena as well. So we'll have them do that. So it's about 7:30 now. They should be here somewhere between 7:30 and 8 o'clock. We're using DLM Excavation in Arizona. They do really good work. They did our last pool, did a great job. So they should be here soon, and I'll show you more coverage as they begin the dig. While we're waiting on excavation, let me just give you a quick, little bit more of a close-up as to how they do the layout. It's basically just paint. They just spray paint on the ground. Again, you can see they use fixed points on the property. So they started with that corner and that corner. And then the person who does the drawings, the design, they lay out and kind of map out where everything goes. And you can see there are 4 main pins on the inside here. You want to be careful not to step on the painted area. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 pins in the center there. And that's basically what they use to get their, the curves, for example. So this is a 6-foot radius. So they the layout person. Again, it was Rick who did the layout. They put a tape here, go 6 foot out, and then just hold the tape, spray paint it there. That's how you get your radius. These, if you're not aware, are little benches. The S indicates a skimmer. This will be a natural rock waterfall grotto. You'll see that at the end of the build. That's going to be really cool. We're going to do some really nice lighting inside of it. This is actually a seat, so you'll be able to swim into this, sit inside here, and it's basically a big cave. It'll be about 6 feet tall, a big rock structure, and then the water is going to come through this. They'll plumb the PVC through this, and then the water will come over the top of the grotto. So it's a big waterfall. It'll be really kind of dramatic and look really cool with the lighting. So this is the Baja step area. This we wanted, carefully laid this out. If you're gonna do this, give consideration to things like elderly people, getting in and out of the pool. We've got my wife's mother coming over, so we need to make sure that people are able to get in and out of the pool easily. So we've got some really nice gradual steps. You also want to consider the depth of each of these. And the Baja step is really important too. If you've got pets, our daughter likes to lay out in the sun, so we're going to put a couple of like sun loungers in there. All things you want to consider, and also the access. When you walk out here, what's your path going to be to get into the pool type of thing. So, all right, so that's kind of, again, a little bit more of detail on the layout. You can see, once again, the pins that they lay out when they do the layout part. And then from here, any minute now, we should be seeing the excavation crew arrive. The excavation crew is here. Went over some things with them, like where to put the extra dirt. Also, it's important that they understand it's called the elevation, basically the ultimate height of the edge of the pool in relation to, your other existing area. So I gave them that. That usually you get from the person who does the plan. So let me get you some footage as they start to dig. Okay, excavation is officially underway. This is really neat the way that they do this, because the soil out here is really, really hard. And when they are done digging, it will really be quite a representative shape of what the pool is going to look like. You can see he's taking the dirt. He is putting some dirt off to the side there, as you can see. We've got kind of some low spots, so he'll fill that in. And the extra dirt he's going to bring into our round pen out there and to our horse arena. They also dig about a foot bigger than what the pool is in every direction. So deeper, wider, all of that, to allow for the forms and the concrete and the rebar steel. You'll see that coming up as well as with other steps. So that's basically it. We'll let them keep going and digging, and I'll check back. It is right now, it is about 11:20 a.m. and they plan on being done today. So I'll check back several times here as time permits in between work meetings and show you the progress. All right, a quick update here. They are bringing a load of dirt into the horse arena, which I asked them to do, and I'll spread that out. And there is the hole for the pool. You can see the first Baja step, first part of the Baja step there, starting to take shape. Still quite a bit of digging to do, but they are making progress. All right, work continues. You're starting to be able to see some of the shape here, what it's going to look like. When the dig takes place, everything is about 6 inches to a foot oversized to allow for the rebar and the concrete. Again, if you're having this done and you look at it and you think, boy, that looks a little strange, don't worry about it, because everything will get, kind of fixed once the rebar comes in and the concrete. You can notice they put a decent amount of dirt into the arena. Tonight I'll work on grooming that out and spreading it. And everything is coming along well. It is hot out here as well. I think it's about 112, 113 degrees out right now. So hot day here in Arizona. And to give you an idea in terms of the time, they started at about 8 a.m., just after 8, and it is now about 3:25. They're thinking they'll be done digging today. I think at this point, the stairs and the Baja step is probably one of the most time-consuming parts. A lot of detail work there. But now they're just chipping away. You can see they still have this whole area to go here, and the grotto area is where that's again going to be kind of a cave you'll be able to swim into. So work continues. I'll give you an update here in just a bit. All right, it's about an hour since the last update. Here we are cruising along, looking more and more like a pool. Big hole in our yard. Plenty of dirt in our horse arena. I'll be busy tonight with that for sure. And I'll give you another update here shortly. Okay, it's about 20 after 7. They're just loading up the Bobcat and dump truck. The dig is complete. So basically, here's the way it works. Everything is just kind of roughed out. That's the area for the skimmer. And again, everything's going to be deeper and bigger. It's kind of tough to tell in the video, but that's probably close to 6 feet deep right there. There's a location for the grotto. That's another bench seat. And then you can see the Baja step area. So this will be a little bit shallower. You can see the steps going up there. And looking good. Let me go around to the other side and I'll get you another view of this. Okay, so here's the view from the other side. And again, it looks very kind of roughed out. The next step is the plumbing goes in, and that'll happen either tomorrow or Friday. I'm waiting to hear back, more likely Friday at this point. So it goes plumbing, and then the next thing is the rebar, where they do kind of they use rebar, and that's going to be about, I think it's about 4 or 6 inches off the ground, and they do kind of a giant grid frame inside. So you'll have the shape of the steps, the Baja steps, those seats, all of that kind of stuff. They'll shape out of rebar and even into the grotto area. This doesn't look like much right now, but again, there'll be some really large rocks that'll form a shape, and then there'll be like a big slab that'll cantilever over the top. That's where the water will come off. And that's the seat that you'll be able to kind of swim in and sit in there. But yeah, looking pretty good. They did a really good job. Worked a hard day. It was, my buddy Earl said in Phoenix today it was 122. So it was got up to about 115 out here. We're a little bit cooler where we're located. So, but yeah, not bad for a day's work. And I am gonna jump on my quad and start getting to work on these loads of dirt and get this all leveled out. So that'll be it for tonight. Once the plumbing starts up, I'll go ahead and get you footage of that. Talk to you soon. All right, it's the next morning, July 11th. We have the plumbing crew is here, and they're just getting going. It's about 7 a.m. Starting work early to try to beat the heat. As you can see, they've got their markings for where things are going to be. The orange paint there. They're digging into a pile of equipment, get that stuff all prepped, and we'll get things rolling. All right, it's about an hour later. Checking in. It's pretty interesting. They heat up the PVC and then bend it as needed, probably to minimize the length, I'm guessing. PVC over the last few years has gone up something like 400% in price. So obviously they're trying to cut costs on their materials wherever possible. And I doubt it compromises or disrupts the integrity of the plumbing. So you can see he's running the lines in the pool there. Those are going to be that'll be the main drain at the bottom of the pool. He's plumbing in there. And we'll check back in a little bit. All right, work continues on the plumbing. It's about 12 o'clock now. As you can see, I don't know if they've got most of the lines, but you can see this is the skimmer right here. You can see the lines going over there. Couple of pro tips here. Again, if you're doing this, the location of the equipment, give consideration of that. The closer it is to the pool, the less PVC required, the lower the cost. It makes a huge difference. We were going to put the equipment, originally we were talking about putting it underneath the deck way over on this other side, and by moving it here I lowered the cost by about $2,200, just because there's so much less plumbing. And you can see again they curve the plumbing all the way around the pool, which also helps keep it away from other things that I'm going to be doing, like speaker wires, irrigation, low voltage lighting, all of that. So that's something to consider as well. But yeah, we'll let them continue on. Things are progressing. Right now it's about 12 o'clock. still the same day that they started. They started at about 7:30 or so. And again, you can see there's the pump. We're using Pentair equipment, 3-speed variable speed pump. It's a 2.5-inch line that's going to be coming out of the grotto, so that'll give us a ton of water, a nice big kind of dramatic waterfall. So, all right, we'll let them continue on. I'll give you an update here shortly. Okay, it's about 3:45 the same day, and the plumbing appears to be done. The guys have left, they've cleaned up. Again, if you're doing this, what I would suggest, I ask for all the boxes back, including the manuals. That way you've got everything, especially if the pumps, for example, have a whole bunch of settings, and of course you can get them online, but I like to kind of look through those things, read them, and be able to control them. They did not provide me with an explanation of the valve system, but those are usually pretty easy to figure out. I'll play around with that. And again, what I'm going to do is go downstairs and take some really good photos and detail out everything. I might even take some rebars, maybe 18-inch rebar, and put it into the ground to locate certain things. Like I'm going to be doing some palm trees back behind the grotto. I obviously don't want to dig up these lines, right? So I got to be, and there's a whole bunch behind the where the grotto is going to be. So maybe a good idea to kind of mark and indicate that. That way when I go to do the landscaping, I don't disrupt anything. It's pretty cool, again, the way that they formed the PVC like right around the pool, so none of the other areas do I have to be concerned about that, but certainly back in that area it's of concern. So all right, I'll go downstairs just a little bit here and show you the more of the details, and I'll take again for myself some really good photos and video. Okay, it is now Sunday afternoon. No additional work was done. However, the guy that's doing the grotto stopped by and he saw the dig for the grotto and noticed that the bench area was not dug out enough. So yesterday, the guys came back from the excavation company and dug that out a little bit more. Also, I didn't mention it's Duncan Plumbing is who did the plumbing. As far as I can tell, they did a really good job so far. They did pressure test it to make sure there's no leak. So what I want to do at this point is I'm going to walk you around. I'm going to do my own separate video where I will take measurements. I may even, as I mentioned, put in some rebar and just note things. Like in this area, the way the pool is curved here, I'm going to do like a planter right here. But again, I've got to be careful where I dig, right? I don't want to go through that PVC. That would be a big problem. So let's go around here. These are, they're called deck jets, I believe, or duck sprayers. Here in Arizona, the pool gets super hot. It's probably going to be, at the peak of the summer, this size pool will get probably 95 plus degrees, 90, 97, somewhere in there. And if you want to cool it off, you can use these little spray heads that'll just kind of squirt water. It's basically just aerating and kind of cooling off the water. The grotto will do that as well, the waterfall. So, all right, let's go take a look at this area. You can see I went with Pentair products, which I understand to be very good. I used those in our last pool, and everything was great. We had that pool for, gosh, 7 or 8 years, and there was 0 problems. The lighting I had a problem with. It was Nexus lighting, and they were terrible. But this time we're doing Pentair lighting. So you can see everything laid out. Excuse me. Got all of our controls there, all of our valves. But again, this area, this is like a maze of things going on here. I want to make sure I know where I can dig, especially again to install my palm trees. The other hope too, and I'm really hoping, when the guys put the filter back here, I said we'll put it back here, but I want to make sure that the grotto kind of hides it. So the grotto should be tall enough to hide it from view. But hopefully that is the case. Going around here, you can see the additional plumbing. That goes around, goes into our skimmer area. And this is our leveler as well, where the water gets filled into the pool. You can see the filter intake there at the bottom of the pool, all the plumbing around there. And then this is tied into this spigot. And again, I'll document all of this, my measurements, so that, if I'm running electrical lines or low voltage wiring later. I don't have to worry about anything. And then it ties in over here. And they replaced this whole valve as well. So yeah, that is the plumbing so far. So our next step, again, today is Sunday. We are cooking with gas. We've got subs lined up one right after the other. This build is going to take us probably 30 days from layout to needing towels. Basically, let's go swimming. And that is, especially in Arizona, I think it's normally about 90 days to 120 days if you were a higher company. So we're really cranking along. So this week coming up, we're gonna do, we will have Monday, tomorrow is going to be, Monday and Tuesday is going to be steel, and I'll document all that. So it's basically where they put a rebar skeleton in preparation for what's called the shotcrete. It's a concrete. Excuse me. And then Thursday of this week is all the electrical. That'll be done, and we'll document that as well. Friday, we get what's called a pre-shotcrete inspection, and hopefully that goes well. And then the following Monday is shotcrete. So, and that's when it's really going to start looking like a pool and everything gets molded in. So with that, I will cut the video for today, and we'll resume tomorrow morning when the steel crew gets here. Okay, this is going to be the video for me. Let's go around this side. So along here, right by the Baja step, it looks like the plumbing curves around the pool. No concerns there. There's a T there, but that's not a problem. By the skimmer, careful what I got going on there. Let me get a measurement from the edge of the skimmer to that pipe. Call it basically a foot, so stay a foot away from the skimmer right here. And then gotta watch out on the width there as well by the skimmer. By the device that fills up the pool, watch that also. Let's get a measurement. That's where the line's gonna go. I'll capture that in a minute. So this is about 14 inches to this last pipe. So watch that. Let's get video of where that line runs. There's where it is near the 220. It's going up to the valve. All right. Going around and looking at how the hell I'm going to do the palms behind here. That's really going to be tricky. Maybe I get a few pieces of rebar and put it in to mark. Or maybe I talk to the Grotto guys. Or ask each sub to see if they're going to bury the lines, and then wherever the last one is to bury the lines, see if I can put the rebar in the ground. Got a bit of a pocket right there that I could theoretically drop a palm into. Might be able to do one there, one right there, and then maybe one right there up against the pool. I don't know. I'm gonna have to figure that out. So get a really good view of that. All right, let's continue on. Those are the returns. That's what you call them. There's that deck jet. Notice where this kind of goes out. That's going to be a bit of a pain. Especially if I do a right there. If I do a planter, that's going to be a little bit tricky. So be careful of that. And then I'm back to the same side I started. So, okay, that should do it for now. Good look if there's anything else I need. Alrighty. Alright, it's now Monday, July 15th, and the steel company is here, and as you can see, it is early too. It's 20 after 8. It's not terribly hot out yet. But this guy's working by himself, and he's got everything kind of roughed out. You can see where he's measuring. He's got a tool to be able to bend the steel. And again, what they do is create kind of like a big mesh grid at a rebar. And he'll do that all the way along the sides, along the grotto. He'll build out the steps, the Baja step. And this will probably take today and tomorrow, especially one guy doing it. So work continues, and I'll give you an update here in a little bit. Okay, it's about 1 o'clock, and the worker is in the shade taking a break. And you can see things are starting to take shape, pardon the pun. All right, it's about 3:30 on the same day, and still Monday. And as you can see, this guy was by himself, and he got a lot done. You can really start to see things taking shape. The seat, it's called the love seat, I guess, in the grotto. And you can see where the framework is really starting to come out. So he's going to come back tomorrow morning. He will finish up, and again, I don't think it's going to take him all day because he got this done all on his own in one day. Again, he started early. He was here at 5:30, and when I came out at 7 o'clock, he had a ton of stuff laid out already. So looking good, and we'll give you an update tomorrow once he gets everything buttoned up. It is now Tuesday, July 12th, and the steel is complete. It's, I think it's 10, 11 o'clock in the morning, and the worker, again, a single worker, showed up at about 10 minutes before 5 this morning. Got here when it was still dark, and knocked out the rest of it. And if you notice, there's, I think they're little concrete blocks that prop the rebar up, probably 4 inches off the ground, I would say. And you can see the detail of the grotto. There's one of the benches. You can see the Baja step. So really starting to take shape. So again, it's Tuesday. I'll go downstairs and I'll take some more video of this steel, just so you can see that, kind of walk around the pool. And so again, it's Tuesday. We have nothing slated for tomorrow. Thursday, we have the electrician coming. They will do all of their work, but they kind of get everything prepped, and then they'll come back after the shotcrete, the concrete, and finalize everything. And we've got our inspection this Friday. In Arizona, you do it's called a pre-shotcrete inspection, and then they will do what's called green tag you to approve you, and that needs to happen before the shotcrete can be completed. Shotcrete's going in next week. So, all right, let me go downstairs and get you some more detail of the pool area. Okay, here we are down below, and it's pretty cool. You can see it's just a giant skeleton. So there's our first step. There's our nice big Baja step. You can see the 3 additional steps going down to the deeper part of the pool. The pool is designed where it's deeper on that end. It's going to be 5 foot on that end and about 4 foot on this end. Again, you can see the detail on that. It's called a bench. The grotto area. And there's another bench over there. So at this point, steel is good to go. And again, I'm going to send some pictures. Again, if you're doing this, I'd suggest I'm going to send some pictures to the grotto company show them what's going on over there to make sure everything looks good pre-shotcrete, and also send some pictures to the shotcrete company just to make sure everything looks good for them, make sure there's no adjustments that they see that are required before they come out. Today is Thursday, July 18th, and today is the electrical rough-in. So the electrician should be here mid-morning, I was told. So we've got our lights, there's some control devices there, electronics. They will install where the lights are gonna go, which we'll talk about when they get here and go over that. Basically, I'm still undecided on one of the lights, but I'll tell you more about that in a little bit. The steel company still has to come back and box in the grotto, which I don't know what that means, but I was told by Jason at Rockworks, the gentleman who's doing the grotto, that that needs to happen. So they're coming on Saturday to do that, but it should not impact the electrical. So give me just a bit and we'll wait for the electricians to get here and I will show you what they're going to be doing. Okay, today is July 18th and we have Monster Power, who's the electrical crew here doing the electrical. They are running to the side of the house back over there behind the dog area to tie in for the main power. That's Blue, the crew lead. And you can see down there they've got their propane that they use to heat up and bend the conduit that they're using for the electrical. It is now about 10 a.m. They got here, I think, a couple of hours ago, and they're cruising right along. They've got the locations for the lights set. That gray PVC that you see right there is going to be one of the lights. The second light is inside the grotto seat, firing straight up, so that'll illuminate the inside of the grotto, gives you a really cool effect. And then right next to the skimmer, you can see the other gray tube for the third light. So those three lights will give us really, really nice glow inside the pool. They're color changing LEDs made by Pentair, really good quality. Turns out the horses don't like the heavy equipment, so they're getting a little anxious out there, but I'm sure they'll be okay. But yeah, they are cruising along. And also the grotto company came back and boxed in the backside of the grotto. That needed to be completed, and you can see that work has been done as well. So hopefully that is to the right specification in terms of what needed to happen. So we are making good progress. And again, it's Thursday, and then tomorrow we have our pre-shotcrete inspection, and hopefully we get green tagged with that. So, all right, I will give you some more footage of electrical as they continue the progress. Okay, it's about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and the crew left a little while ago. I assume they're done. Again, when they do the electrical at this point, they do what's called a rough-in, where they're basically running all their wires. They do as much as they can, and then they kind of button things up after the inspection, the pre-shotcrete inspection, and after shotcrete, I believe, as well. So again, you can see the light placement, digging that. That should be really cool. We ended up doing the one in the shallow end there, right on the Baja step, and again, the one inside the grotto, that's gonna look great, and the one by the skimmer right over here. So I'll go downstairs a little bit later on this afternoon, and I will get you some ground level footage to show you what the electrical looks like. Okay, it's actually a few days later. Had a minor issue, which I'll explain here in just a second. First, I want to show you the electrical. You can see there's two pieces of metal conduit there. One is for our hot tub, and one is a new one for the pool, the one that goes into the ground right there. That goes up to, you can see the main panel off to the side of the house there. So basically they ran it through there, dug up the dog area, and then you can see it coming through here. This is our main power line. That goes back over here. Also, this is a good idea to do also for yourself. Maybe some of this I'll take measurements on, so that later when you go to, plant trees and things like that, you know where things are. You end up not digging up important pieces of electrical, which can be dangerous and also costly error. So you can see this is trenched over here, goes over to the pump area, and around here you can see, let's see, let me find a good place to cross over here. You can see our ground wire that they've got attached to the pump. and then to various places in the pool. You can see the gray conduit is going to be the electrical. You can see all that there. They will also, and I suggest this, they're going to mount a 110 volt outlet out here as well, because this is kind of far from the house, and when I go to leaf blow or something like that, if I want to be able to plug something in, I suggest adding that if your plumber or your electrician doesn't do that. But again, you can just see the conduit ran. The gray conduit is the electrical, and this is going to be for the lighting. You can see this one is the one that routes down inside the grotto. That's going to be the light that shines straight up in that's the grotto bench right there, the place you'd be able to sit. And then there is the other light there as well. So nothing crazy out here in terms of the electrical. And you can see what that is routed back here behind the grotto. The one other thing I wanted to show, which I kind of forgot about, and it's really important, is if you're in Arizona, you're going to need to have what's called a pre-shotcrete inspection done. This is where the building inspector will come out right before you're ready for shotcrete. So you've got your dig done, your layout, dig, steel, plumbing, and electrical rough-in. So you're at this point right where we are. So our next sub is going to be concrete, or known as shotcrete, right? Where they're going to enclose all this and pour in concrete. So again, in Maricopa, or depending on the county, we're in Pinal County in Arizona. Some counties will require a pre-shotcrete inspection. One of the things that they're going to require is a pressurization of your system. So if you notice right now, we're at approximately 39 psi of pressure. What that means is that the lines are all filled with water and pressurized. This allows them to check and make sure there's no leaks in the plumbing. This is part of the inspection. Highly encourage this because, again, even if you don't have to have it done, I would do this because we had a leak. So over in the skimmer area, it was not a big deal. There was a cap that kind of plugs off the line, and that cap wasn't screwed in all the way, giving us a leak. So the other day we had the system pressurized to 40 psi. The inspector came and we were down around 25 psi. I didn't realize, I didn't see the leak, which was right there. You can see where it's still moist. We didn't realize what was going on, so he said, get a hold of your plumber and I'll come back out. So the plumber came back out. In the meantime, I identified the leak. The plumber came back out, just had to torque that, there's basically just a plug in the skimmer line, which they'll remove, eventually, and that way that's how the skimmer's gonna work. But basically that was just capping it off. It was loose, and that's where we were losing pressure. Also in Arizona, if you're doing this, or anywhere where it's really hot, it's gonna be 110 today, give or take, you will get a sagging of pressure because of the heat. So if you pressurize your system in the morning, like first thing this morning, we were at 40 psi, we're now at 38. So you might drop a few pounds, but not the 15 pounds that we had dropped. That's when you know you have a leak. So, all right, so with that, we are good. Well, hopefully the inspector is gonna come back today and then do what's called green tag us, which means approve us. And then at that point, we can start getting the rest of the subs in and start getting this to look more like a... All right, kind of tough to see. They've got a big mask up here, but we are full-fledged shotcrete. This is where they do the concrete portion. And you can see that worker there. They sculpt everything. Bring in the concrete. And then this needs to be watered. See, we've got our, there's one truck there. There's another truck as well. But I'll get you some footage once they're done shaping it. And you can see, there we go, that's some good footage there. You can see where he's blowing in the concrete. All right, second truck has arrived. They are still cruising along. You can see where the grotto is getting filled in as well. That is going to be solid. And Okay, here is some more progress. You can see the guys still got a bit more to go, but making progress. That grotto area is going to be solid. That was prerequisite because of the slab of rock that's going to be going over the top of that and creating like a kind of a shelf that it'll hang over. But yeah, work continues. It's getting warm out as well, but we'll let them keep going. All right, shotcrete is all set, and they even added water. Looking great. Just kidding. I don't know what they do with that kiddie pool, but they left that behind. Here is the shotcrete complete. It is curing at this point, and if you are doing this kind of a build, especially here in Arizona or in any hot climate, it's very important to wet down the concrete. If you notice, it is basically different colors, so you can see where it's lighter and darker. We don't want it to get too light, so I'm going to go through and wet it basically every hour until sunset today. It's about almost 1 p.m. here today, so it doesn't get dark till about 8, so I've got several hours of wetting it down. And then after today, I'll wet it 3 times a day for the next 5 days until it cures up. So let me walk downstairs here in a little bit and I'll give you more of a perspective. All right, our concrete is all set. The pool's looking good. They even added water. We're ready to go swimming. Just kidding. Here we are. Getting closer. All right, here we are down at the ground level. Everything's looking good. One thing that looks a little funky, but it is what it is this first step is not very tall at all. And then you can see the steps. These are cool, going down into the pool. We didn't have the last step initially, so we added that. Glad we did. Baja steps looking nice. That's this prep for an umbrella sleeve that'll go in when they do the pebble finish. You can see we've got the bench there, grotto detail, and then you see the skimmer wall and the return lines, and also the fixture for the light over there. You can see the other bench. So looking pretty cool. Looking more and more like a pool here for sure. All right, I will let you know when the next subs are here, and then we're not sure what's going to happen next. If it's going to be the waterfall feature gets built, or the what's called the coping, the tile or the paver edge that goes all around the top here. This whole area here will be all pearlescent limestone pavers. So again, I'm not quite sure exactly what will be our next steps will be, so I'm waiting to hear back from some subs. All right, we'll see you shortly for the next update. Yeah, we had the shotcrete done today. Came out awesome. Got the pool filled up. It's pretty warm. It's gonna clear up a little bit, and then we'll be able to go swimming later. Just kidding. Still under construction, but it's coming along. All right, it is now August 6th and the grotto is being installed. We've got Jason from Rockworks here doing the work. Comes very highly recommended. He's got his crew here on site. They started it, what's that, 5:15 this morning. It's now about 7, and as you can see, they're making really good progress. They've got the main slab there, which is about 4,800 pounds, Jason was saying. And everything is a giant puzzle. It's very intentional in terms of where things are going to go. And they'll get that set up on there. And that's going to kind of hang over that edge. You see where the bucket is. And that's going to give the people room to be able to kind of swim in there and sit on that bench. So it should look pretty cool. Let's see if we can capture this. Yeah, I bet.
I haven't done 3 grottos in a year. I got 3 this month.
Wow. It's a good balancing act with that rock.
Adam, go ahead and hose it down, the bottom of it. Yeah, let's go, Ronnie.
Stay out of his way here.
Give me that rose when you're done, and I'll do the top of it. I'll turn it over. It's big enough for the majority of it to clear out of the paddock. That's exactly how it's going to sit out. That's what the front wheel holds on to.
Scary being under that rock. Unforgiving at 4,800 pounds. Some concrete on the top of that slab. I should just show you the concrete slab. It's going to help bond that piece of stone in place. Once that in there, it's not going to go anywhere.
Ronnie, that way about a foot. Go down slowly. As much on the pad as you can. Go get over the edge of the grotto.
Cool. Okay, they lifted it up there, backing the piece back, just to make sure it's balanced properly and doesn't fall off that edge. So they just pulled it back towards the back pipe there a little bit. All right, getting some more progress here. They're starting to set some boulders. They've got some really nice giant boulders on the sides of the grotto. Those were a little mishap. Those weren't supposed to be on the truck, but it's kind of a screw up, I guess, on their part, but it worked out, and Jason wanted some big rocks on the side there, and so I guess we got them. So what they're going to do on the top section right over here is that's going to be like behind there would be like a little bit of a pool. That's where the hose is, and the water will come out of there and then kind of cascade down, all down this whole thing. It's going to look amazing. Very, very natural. We did another pool, again, back in 2011. We had another company do that grotto. They have since gone out of business, and it was an artificial grotto that looked very deliberate. It was very symmetrical and had this perfect shape. It was cool and everything, and you could swim into it. You could also go much deeper. You notice this one's not terribly deep. I think when you are sitting in there, you got a drink in your hand, the water is going to flow over the top. You're not going to, have water coming into your drink cup, if you will, but this looks so much better in terms of it being natural. Plus the natural stone's going to hold up better. The artificial stuff is going to, we had it crack and it would show the chicken wire, and it was just kind of a mess, and it was kind of thin and flimsy. This is super solid. All right, we'll let them keep working and give you an update here in just a bit. All right, the crane is left. All of the boulders are in place. Now they're doing the finish work. You can see the man there is adding a rock veneer. What he's doing to the inside of the grotto there. And again, where his right foot is going to be where you can see it. That little piece of pipe that's coming up will be cut flush. That is a light that we've got color changing LEDs that'll go in there, and that will basically get the whole thing to glow the color of the light, which will be really nice when the water comes over. Also, the water, if you notice, I like the way this the main piece of slab is curved here. That's going to allow the water to kind of flow down here, and into the pool. So it's going to really look very, very natural. And the whole thing being real stone is obviously going to help make it look kind of natural and real. So, all right, it's hot out here too. I think it's going to be about 110 today. So these guys are dealing with the heat. They've got their umbrella there and they're working away. So give you another progress report here in a little bit. Okay, it is about 1:30 in the afternoon the same day, and the grotto is complete. Guys left probably about an hour ago. So again, they started about 5 a.m. this morning. Came out amazing. Absolutely exceeds my expectations. Funny story, good news, bad news. There are at least these 2 giant boulders on the side and a few other ones that weren't supposed to be on the truck. Something happened and we ended up with a lot more than we should have had. So the grotto is about twice the size of what we initially set up. And we were able to get it for the same price, and it looks incredible. We had another one built again in the past that was artificial, and it was like symmetrical. It looked very deliberate. It did not look artificial, or it did not look authentic at all. This thing looks, and it's all natural stone, so it looks incredible. Let me walk you around it. And again, you can see the backside. I'm guessing you can see where it's a little bit lighter here on the bottom. That concrete will cure, and that stone should look the same color as the rest of it. They went in and put in, I'll walk down and show you inside there. Let's go do that now, actually. They took their tools and basically scratched some lines into it, so it kind of looks like natural cracks in the stone. Just walking down the steps here. All right, and you can see, I believe we're gonna have water coming down like here, splashing into the pool, obviously all over the top. You can see that stone where they put in some kind of texture so it looks like natural stone, and I believe it's going to lighten up like that color, which matches the rest of the stone once the concrete cures. You can see underneath the rock. And that water, this is really cool the way it's curved. So as you can see, and that's going to allow the water to just kind of spill all over this. It'll go down here as well, come down this, come down the sides. They did a little test run, which unfortunately I didn't get to see. I would have loved to have seen that, but it'll be something cool to look forward to. You can see this boulders on the side here. Again, it looks like that's going to be a little spot for some extra water to come down and kind of waterfall right here into the pool. It's going to look incredible. I cannot wait to see this with it turned on and with the lighting on it. Again, that right there is going to be cut flush. There'll be a LED light in there, and that'll glow the whole inside of this, the color that we choose. So with that, let's go ahead and take a look at what it looks like on the around the backside. All right, I've got to be careful where I'm walking here. It's still a construction site. One of the criteria I had asked Jason if he could use the grotto to hide the pump and the filter, and I was really worried about that. He did an exceptional job. When you're out anywhere, in front of the grotto, you can't see any of that. Even from the deck, you really can't see it. So they did a great job there. On the back side, let me just walk around here carefully. You can see the size of these stones. Like, that thing is massive. And then they also filled in areas back here and did that same kind of a natural kind of a lines in it, so it looks like natural stone for the rest of it. Let me go walk around the pump filter. And the same thing back here. This, I'm going to be doing some nice big palm trees back here that are going to kind of hang over the grotto once they grow. I buy small ones because they're cheaper and they'll let them grow. Inside the grotto, that is the pipe, and then this will be kind of like a pool that'll fill with water, and then the water just naturally spills over the top here and then goes down the grotto. So we even got like this extra boulder here. Slide out here to show you. You can see the height of the grotto relative to the filter. Hides the entire thing. This definitely, I'll tell you, Jason at Rockworks, if you're gonna do a grotto here in Arizona or any kind of water feature, they do rock waterfalls. That was initially what we were gonna do, but we decided to bite the bullet and upgrade to a grotto. Thank you, Tracy, my wife. That was kind of my thing I wanted, so I appreciate her accommodating. They exceeded my expectations. This is just absolutely amazing. So, all right, that'll be it for the grotto. The next thing, so today is Tuesday. Our next activity is going to be the tile border. That'll be installed on Thursday, so just a couple of days away, and I'll show you footage of that as we go. All right, for now, that'll be it. Talk to you soon. All right, today is August 8th, and we've got the tile guys here getting started. Right now it's about almost noon, so they're starting midday, and it's not terribly hot. For Arizona, it's gonna be about 105, I think today, 107, so not horrible. And they're just getting everything laid out, and they will do the tile. So they're doing the perimeter tile. You can see a piece of it right there. And also we're doing what's called step trim, that smaller 1 inch by 1 inch, and you'll see how that goes in. So I'll let them get started, and I'll give you a progress update here shortly. All right, quick progress update. You can see the tile along the edge there. And they've got that border piece that, I don't know how they attached it, but they have it on there, and that allows them to use that as a straight edge for somebody's guide. It's looking good. Once they get it completed, I'll walk down and give you a full walk around video of that section. Okay, tile is complete. It's around almost 5 o'clock, the same day that they started the tile. Let me just step over this trench here. It came out really nice. Another thing that we did is called step trim. So these are 1 inch by 1 inch pieces of glass tile, and you can see they go around basically let's carefully step in here, on all the benches. You can see it on the grotto there as well, and also on this bench, and then on the steps. So I think that'll look sharp. The pebble finish that's going in is a little bit lighter. It's kind of when the pool is going to be filled with water, it gives you like a nice blue turquoise, kind of reminds me of the Caribbean. Again, it's the same finish that we used in our old pool, so I really like that. It'll look great. So this part is good. Let me show you one other quick thing. I want to show you the good, the bad, the ugly with this build. We have one other quick thing that I want to capture for you that I will show you. Give me just all right, so I'm over here by the side of our house. That's where they tied in the plumbers for the main fill line, and then here's the fill line that goes out to the pool. I intentionally left this trench open just to make sure, just in case if we had any leaks, we'd be able to see them. The inspector came this morning. There's two things. The inspector came, and we're in Pinal County in Arizona, and we called the county, found out what exactly we needed to do to pass the final inspection. The lady there gave us the list of information. We did all those things. The inspector came, and there was a bunch of little things that the lady never told us, so we didn't pass. So they gave us like an incomplete. While he was here, he said, hey, you may want to check this out. If you notice right there, it's tough to see, there is a joint in that line. Now that's an electrical line that's coming down for the spa. And he said, I think you've got a leak there. And if you notice, there's a wet spot. If that was buried, I wouldn't see it, right? So again, I guess pro tip here is leave everything exposed as long as you can, just in the off chance that you may have a leak. So I'll call the plumber, have him come out, take a look at it, and we'll get that addressed. And again, we weren't able to get the final inspection complete. Now that pushes that out, but I think we're going to be able to maintain our same timeline. So today again is Thursday. Tomorrow we have what's called a coping being installed, and that is basically the perimeter of pavers that's going to go all the way around the pool. And then obviously we're using the same kind of pavers out through this area called the field area. And that's going to be some really good looking material there. So that'll be it for today, and tomorrow as they start doing the coping, I will start giving you footage of that as well. All right, today is August 12th. A little bit of an update here. The grotto guys came back and they painted the areas that they concreted, and it looks really nice. Let me show you the front side. All right, here's the inside of the grotto. It's kind of tough to see with the shade, but it looks really natural. They did a really nice job on it, and came out really good. We also have all of the electrical is complete. They came back and finished that up. So we've got, you can see there's our one light, there's the other light there, and then the third light is over here. They did have to do a little bit of tile work that they're going to, the tile guys will fix that up. And then we also have our panel. You can see it back by the pump there, where it's got the electrical outlets and the switches. So making progress. Okay, it is August 14th, and as you can see, we are having the coping installed on the pool deck. This is pearlescent limestone is what we're using. You can see this worker here. I think they're gonna have to cut like every other piece. You can see where this guy's laying it out, and I think he marks it. And then the bottom pieces are likely what he's marking, and they'll get cut. He's making a jig right there, just to have a consistent overhang, which is pretty cool, clever. But yeah, so these are getting installed hopefully today. This part will be done, and I'll give you some more footage here once we've got some additional progress. Okay, it's about 9:30 a.m. They started at about 8 o'clock. That's a lot of cuts. And the saw moves very slow, as you can see. A wet saw. And that's a real monotonous, kind of a tedious job, but it's gonna get done. It's gonna look great. All right, it's about 1 o'clock. They are still cutting pavers, and will be doing so for quite a while, looks like. So, as you can see, he just made the one cut on the one side. Now he'll make the other cut on the other side. And you can see where he's got those placed. He's got a nice consistent gap between each paver. It's a lot of work, but it's going to come out nice. A little pro tip, if you're doing a pool yourself, this is what's known as a freeform pool, kind of old school, which that's kind of the way I am, my wife and I. So we like more of this kind of a traditional look. A lot of people are doing the more modern kind of a rectangular pool or a square pool. If you're doing a freeform pool like this, the pavers that we chose for this portion, which is called the coping, are 6 by 12. The rest of the field area will be 3 different sizes. It'll be this size, 6 by 12, and then 6 by 6, and then 12 by 12. And what's called a Versailles pattern. You'll see that when they set those up. But it's recommended that if you're going to do a freeform pool, don't use large square tiles. On our last pool, we did 12 by 12s, and it looked really notchy. I could see this is going to look a lot better, a lot more uniform around the end. So, all right, we'll let them continue on, and I'll give you an update here in just a bit. All right, it is Thursday, August 15th, the next day, and looks like they still have a few more cuts to do over there, but they have added the mud underneath the tiles all the way up to this section, and you can see it's a very precise process. He's going to level it, tamp it down. He checks the front edge to make sure it is consistent with his jig that he's built. And yep, that's it. Very tedious job. Lots of fun. So yeah, they're planning on getting this all completed today, this tile, and it turns out that which again is called the coping. Turns out that the other, what are called the field pavers, so there's going to be pavers all around there and all in this area and around there. We had to reschedule that. We had something come up, so that'll be started next week on Tuesday. So I'll let these guys continue and check back in a little bit. Coping is complete. Came out really, really nice. I don't know quite enough about this to know what would look good, but it looks really good. I think they did a great job. This is Paver Aces that did this work. They're going to be doing the additional pavers around the whole, deck area, if you will, the pool. But again, if you notice, because it's 6 by 12s and not 12 by 12s, it gives you a really nice kind of a rounded edge that conforms with the shape of the pool. It looks really good. And I'm digging the color because it's I'm into like the Caribbean kind of colors, turquoise and white sand and everything. So this kind of reminded me of like a white sand. You'll see when we do the pebble, that's kind of a turquoise blue that it'll give the water. Kind of a little bit lighter color, not so dark. And then when we get some green plants around, and we'll have some other colors with other plants, maybe some bougainvillea, which are like a pinkish red. I think it'll really tie in everything nicely. So looking good. I'm definitely liking it. So it is Thursday today. This starting later tonight and then tomorrow night and this weekend, I'm going to be putting up a fence around the entire pool. Total length of the fence is about 235 feet. It'll be made of the same material as our dog fence over there, similar to the railing up on the deck. And that's going to go from that post straight parallel to the barn down to about here, and that'll go straight over there, and then right about where that sand pile is, from there it'll go again parallel to that side of the property up to the gate. So a lot of fence to put in. I'm going to rent a post hole digger, and I'm going to do a full separate video for that build. So if you're interested, be sure to check that out. All right, talk to you soon. All right, here's a quick video, Amy. I'm not sure what I showed you the last time. I don't know if the waterfall was in place. So that is a waterfall grotto. There will be water that'll come out there and then spill down the whole thing. There's lights inside there, so that the whole thing will light up and glow. I'm building this fence, and you can see all the posts, all these black metal posts. That's been a ton of work. So I did that all last weekend. I still have these posts to put in. I've been doing it every night after work. So tons and tons of work. If you like horses, we have those too. So feel free to come in anytime. You can ride our horses. All right, talk to you soon. All right, it is now August 22nd, and we're getting some pavers installed. Also, if you notice, I've got all the posts up for the fence. I will be putting up a separate video to show the details of that. So with regard to the pavers, what they do is they compact the area. Let's see, there's our machine right there, little compactor. Get it all nice and flat, and then they also put in, you can see there's a metal pipe that they lay in. There's another one right over there. They've already removed it. And they use that with a level to basically grade it and get everything set up properly. So it's very precisely laid out. He's filling in dirt and then sand and rock and all of that. Sand is the last thing they put on, just to get a really nice substrate for the pavers to go onto, and then they'll put the pavers on. And you can see he's got some material out here that's been delivered in the driveway. And you can see actually the pavers are there as well. I just noticed that as well. So lots of materials, and today is Thursday, and I'm told that this will be done by the end of the day tomorrow. You can see the red line right there, so it's going to go, it's going to go here right up to there. It'll be a nice curve there, and then that'll be about a 2-foot perimeter around the backside, and then it'll curve over here and then meet up at this point, and then this entire area in here will all be pavers. We did find out, again, if you're having this done, something interesting. That point right there is the kind of the reference point for the height of the pool, called the elevation. In that area, that point right there to the pool is perfectly level. Or actually, there's a slight slope this way, so the water would run down here, which is totally fine. We found out that over here, these tiles are a little bit higher. That's the reference string that they use right there. I think they use a laser to align that to the coping. So they are going to have to put in a drain right here. So bottom line, again, if you're having pavers installed, ask about, okay, how is our elevation? Do we need to add a drain? And if so, where do you want to put the drain? So that would be a consideration. So, all right, we'll let them continue on the paver work, and I'll give you an update here shortly. All right, it's about 1:40 the same day. They are working away on the pavers, and you can see now, get a better idea as to where the pavers are going to go to the grotto on that side and on this area, and this whole area still will be filled in. there is also, we found out that, I think I mentioned this earlier, what we're going to do. This side is level with the pool, but this kind of slopes up slightly. So they are going to do a drain. It's called a hidden drain, which will be like a 1/2-inch gap right down here on some of the pavers. So you'll see that. But looking good. Digging the color. It's kind of a whitish, which I think looks really nice. So, all right, we'll let them continue on, and we'll check back here shortly. All right, we're getting hit. Look at the dirt going into that pool. Holy moly. Let's go take a look out here. It's Beaver's got stuff flying around. Look at that. A little windy. Oh, there's a big bag of garbage. That's the problem. That's not good. All right, it's Friday, August 23rd. Here's a quick update. We had a brutal dust storm last night. I included footage of that, so you were able to see that. That was kind of a mess. But now they are working away on the pavers. You can see they've got the perimeter cut. They're still going to do a 6x6 border around this outside here, just along the edge. And they're working on this whole area now, and I'll go again right up to the grotto. And this section is where they're putting in the drain. So it's looking good. A lot of work. I'll show you cutting the tile. See the mess that makes. So again, if you're having your pool done, have all your pavers done before you have your pebble finish installed. You can see all the dust in the pool from them cutting. So once the pavers are done, again, today is Friday. On Monday, we have the pebble company coming, and they do what's called a cleanup to get everything all prepped for the pebble finish. So, all right, update to follow here shortly. All right, they are chugging along, making really good progress. See the area down there, still needs to be trimmed. Starting to look like a patio area. Very nice. I like this transition here. So this is 6x6. This guy here is cutting those. Saturday, August 24th. They are just finishing up. You can see the last pieces being installed. This area over here is all set. Came out really, really nice. Very happy with it. Paver Aces, the contractor that did the work there. All right, today is Monday, August 26th. I'm standing inside here because it's pretty loud out there. They're doing, it's called cleanup right now, prep for the pebble finish. Also, over the weekend, the pavers were completed, and also I finished the fence. So busy weekend. So let's go out and take a look and just, I'll give you a little footage of what they're doing. Pressure wash, done. And you can see the paver area. John, here's the fence. Don't mind the contractors are here doing cleanup. Just want to give you an idea how big this thing is. All done. I think it's about 250 feet. 2 weekends and every night in between, but it's done. Came out really good. Saved myself a lot of money in there. All right, the cleanup is done. Essentially, it's just a really good pressure wash, kind of scrubbing the loose pieces of concrete and getting it ready for the pebble finish. So again, today is Monday. Later today, we're having a couple of things repaired on the decking. These 2 pieces of coping were notched for this, but didn't need to be. So they're going to replace those 2. We have another one where their saw got a little out of hand there, so they're going to replace that one as well. This is pretty cool also. If you're having decking installed, this is something they do in Arizona. I don't know if they do this in other areas, but that's the skimmer. So they basically notch it so you can fit your fingers in there and lift that 12 by 12 piece of paver out. Same thing with this is the filler area where the leveler is. So pretty cool there. So, all right, that'll be it. Here's a better shot of the decking as well. We did do it's called a deco drain. There's a little tiny drain right here that runs down because you can see there's a very slight slope here. It's kind of exaggerated in the video, I think, but it's very, very slight. It's tough to even recognize, but decking came out really nice. We're gonna do some plants there, some palms, and I've got the extra AB they put over there, and I'll level that out and I'll bring in some more dirt in this area and kind of gradually slope it. Notice too, we've got some piles of dirt that the guy with the Bobcat left for us here. These need to be added to the underside of the fence. So for your fencing, depending on your county, there is code for the height of the fence and a gap underneath the fence. So we're a little bit too much of a gap on certain areas, so we're going to be filling that in this evening. So all right, that's it for now. Today is August 28th. It is just before 6 a.m. and today is Pebble Day. So they're doing all of the prep for the pebble finish. You can see they're cutting off the ends for the PVC pipe that come out. They're getting all their masking stuff up. You can see they put a big grid of rope basically over the pool. They build like a tarp kind of a system, and they'll get that all set up. Pretty cool the way they're doing it. And then they spray it in. Again, we're doing it's Wedded Technologies. The color is called Aqua Blue, and they're adding extra double abalone shells. So there's seashells in there, which really make it sparkle, and they're adding double the amount. So we'll let them get set up. I got a busy work day today, so I'm not sure how much footage I'll be able to get of them doing the work, but gives you an idea of the setup, and we'll keep rolling on here. All right, here we are down at the ground level. You can see they're applying, this is kind of a base coat. The final color will be different. You can see they work real quickly. And they're getting this kind of a slurry mix on there in preparation for the final finish. All right, here is the pump. You can see he's got basically a vat that he dumps the material into. They do the mixing. They've got the pipe, and that pipes it into the pool. They also have call it a slurry box. It's basically just where they put their waste material, and then this will dry up and they'll come back in a few days and pick it up. But making progress. All right, it's about 20 after 7. Work continues. Looks like this guy here is putting a finish on the grate that goes at the bottom of the pool. Very carefully mudding that on. That goes down in that hole right there. Making progress. Again, that is not the final color. That's just, I think, kind of like a thick base coat layer that they put on. And that'll build up to like those tiles that you've been seeing. And you can see where this guy's draining the water out through the drain. Spraying water in there as well. So, making progress. I've got a work call that's going to last at least an hour. And by the time I'm done, they're going to be not done, but pretty close to it. So the whole process takes about 3 or 4 hours total. So with this this many guys, it goes quick. So, all right, we'll let them continue, and I'll check back as I'm able just above. All right, they're just finishing up. And you can see they've got special
Okay.
pads underneath their shoes,
So
those
do you
spikes.
have somebody, so you said they
finish
can't really see it, like
doing
do
the
you have somebody
finish.
that walks through and like does like a inspection once it's like all like.
Looking good. All right, it's still the same day, August 28th. Just wanted to come out here and give you some quick footage. The pebble finish itself is done. What they'll do tomorrow is come in and they do an acid wash, and it will kind of remove the film that you're seeing there, and it looks pretty dark. That'll kind of brighten up as they do that. Here is that piece that goes in the bottom of the pool, and you can see the pebble finish there. Again, this pebble finish it's made by Wet Edge Technologies. It's a bit more expensive than a lot of the finishes, but the pebble is more round, it's more smooth, it's easier on your feet. And personally, I really like the color of the water. You'll see that tomorrow when they fill the pool. So tomorrow is Thursday, and we're having the acid wash is done by the same company with CDC Pools. Did a great job here. They did the tile and the pebble finish, the tile along the border here. They will come in tomorrow very early, 5 o'clock probably, between 5 and 6. They'll acid wash the whole thing and get it all clean, and then they'll throw a hose in, and before they leave, probably around 8 o'clock, I think 8:30, we have our first delivery of water coming in. So we're having water trucked in to fill the pool. Here's another pro tip. We have a pump for a well. We've got a well back there, but you don't want to fill the pool if you've got your own well, typically, because unless you've got a really big holding tank, because it's just going to run the pump continuously in the well, and that could burn out the pump. So just to be careful on that, we decided to have the pool filled with truck water. So we're having 2 different trucks delivered, 7,500 gallons each. The pool's approximately 15,000 gallons. They're going to come in one right after the other tomorrow, and by probably 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, the pool will be filled. So I'll show you that. And then after that, we've got, so that's Thursday. Then on Friday, we have what is called startup, where we have the electrical company who did the electric is going to come in. They also do plumbing stuff as well. They're going to start the pump, get everything set, show us all the valves. We'll get our initial chemicals in there and get things rolling. And then that'll wrap up the video. After that, I will be doing an additional series where I will show you the landscaping I'm doing back here. Again, I did the fence. I've got a separate video for this wrought iron fence that we built, my wife and I. And I'll show you all of the, we're gonna be doing low voltage lighting, landscaping, some rock. We're gonna do some fruit trees over in the corner. Might even do a pergola, and a bunch of palms and all that. So more details to come, and again, tomorrow I'll show you the acid wash process. Okay, it's August 29th, the day after the pebble went in, and as you can see, they're here now, and this man is acid washing the pool. This is the process which will get rid of the extra material. See where you can now see those called step tiles. See those really well. Still some streaking because it's part of it's wet, part of it's not, so that'll go away. It's about 7:30 in the morning now, and we got here at about 6. And we have the fill trucks coming. The first one comes at 8:30, and I think the next one's a couple hours after that. So in a few hours, this thing will be filled pretty well. All right, it's about 8:45, give or take. And he is just doing the final clean out with the acid wash. You can see we used extra abalone shells, which are seashells that are like really pearlescent, and they really sparkle. They almost look like diamonds when the sun hits it. It's kind of tough to see here, but you'll see it when it's full of water. And here's a little pro tip. If you have that added to your pebble finish, they'll add extra bags of it while they mix it into the pebble, but also ask them to just take it and hand throw it on the very top surface. I can really see it here. It's tough to see in video. but we have a ton of it in there and it really makes it sparkle. So water truck's on its way. We got a text, should be here in 5 or 10 minutes and they'll start filling. All right, it's about 9:45. Wild West Water Delivery out of Mesa, Arizona is here, filling the pool. So they're gonna bring up 3 or 4 different trucks. Right now they're on kind of a low speed with the pump, just to be able to get the water in, but you can see they've probably been less than 10 minutes to fill, and we're cruising along. So when they do this guy's done this many, many times. The owner is out here already from the company, and they know what they're doing. So, but you got to be careful that you don't want to put a lot of pressure right on the raw pebble itself. So the water's probably at least 6 or 8 inches deep already. Notice that really nice color. That's that color I wanted. That's like a lighter turquoise. And we're getting a lot of nice sparkle with that extra abalone shell. So it's looking really sharp. I'm super happy. So they'll have it filled in a few hours, and we'll give you an update here in just a bit.
Check it out. We are probably a couple hours away from being able to swim. Still got some landscaping to do. I put the fence up, Tracy and I. It's looking good.
All right, it's about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. They brought in various trucks. This is like the 4th truck. One of them wasn't totally full. It came off another job, but we are getting really close. Check out that water color too. I am super specific about it, and it looks, it's like I'd say a light turquoise. That to me, it looks just like the Caribbean. And then again, I was going for kind of a white sand look with the pavers. So should look really sweet. Once it's all filled, I'll go down and show you how it all looks. All right, the last water truck has left and we're still a little bit low. You can see the water's just at the tile line. And so we've got the hose in there just to top off the rest. You can again notice the sparkle from the shells in the Baja step there. It looks really, really good. What do you think, bud?
I love it. It's a little cold, but
Is it?
I like the deep end. It's the perfect height.
Is it?
Yeah.
It gets a little bit deeper towards the deeper. See how it is out there?
Yeah.
That's like the
Just can
deepest.
Still stand, a little tippy toe action.
Perfect.
Pretty nice. Pretty nice. Oh yeah.
Cool. Here is another shot where hopefully on video, it's tough to see if on video it's really picking up the abalone shells, but it definitely looks really nice. Looks like diamonds in the bottom of the pool. So I'm gonna put the hose in, and we've got probably 3-4 inches more water to add, and then we'll be topped off. Hey Jason, this is on a low setting. Apparently there is a little bit of water leaking on this side, but there's quite a bit on the right side of the grotto. Looks like right in that one rock area, and you can see it. Looks pretty cool, but we got a little river coming out the side there. All right, today is September 8th, Sunday, and the pool is done-ish. It is together. It is up and working, as you can see. We've been swimming in it. It's been probably a couple of weeks since we had it filled, almost. We've got some of our decor out here as well. We just had a little get together yesterday with some friends over last night, which was a blast. And there are some loose ends that still need to be addressed above and beyond the landscaping that I'm going to be doing. There are still the deck jets to be installed. Those are going in this week. There's some tweaks that I want to have done to the waterfall. Those will be adjusted, the grotto. You can see the light looks really, really cool in there. But we're gonna have some adjustments made to the water coming out. The way it comes out looks like it's kind of boiling there. That'll be adjusted. And also kind of tweak the water going into the seating area so that you're actually able to sit in there. Right now you get kind of soaked. So that will be addressed. And again, a few other little minor things. But all in all, it came out really, really nice. It looks amazing. I know we didn't document specific details for people in terms of, all right, so if you want to start this and build your own pool, like where do you start? Ask me in the comment section. I'm more than happy to address any questions that people may have. One, probably the most common question is what was the cost? We did the fence as well. As you can see, that was a requirement of us getting the inspection passed. And we negotiated very heavily with the subs. With the fence, we built the fence ourselves. We're right about $55,000 for the whole build. If you were to call a contractor, a pool builder, and say, all right, here's the pool I want, come and put it in, especially once you add landscaping, which I'm going to be DIYing, I'll have more videos on that as well, it would comfortably be probably between $100,000 and $125,000 to do this pool in this area. So it's not a huge pool, it's good size, it's 95-foot perimeter. Again, it's about 5 feet deep in the deep end and 4.5 feet here in the shallower end. But when you add things like the grotto and all of that, it really starts to crank up the price. So that should be it for this video. Again, on this channel, I will have quite a few more videos in terms of different things around the house that I'll be working on. I do have another channel, which is car specific, but hopefully you've enjoyed this series. If you made it all the way to this point, you're a trooper. It's a long video. I haven't even checked to see how long it is, but it's quite long. But I wanted to capture all of this, you know, the build within one video. So thank you very much for watching. If you have not yet already, please like and subscribe. And again, if there's any questions, please let me know in the comments section. Talk to you soon. Take care.